tips for the layperson, someone who doesn't want to like track every calorie, all of that. And let's say they're eating like the standard American diet. What would be your advice to someone like that?
Oh, that's a really good question. I would say I'm like, generally speaking, like diet agnostic. I don't subscribe to anything. I don't fully cut anything out of my life. I like generally don't eat fast food. But we've known what we need to do from the start of millennia. And like, if you're feeling like you have too much body weight on you, then you probably need to eat a little less of what. It honestly really doesn't matter if you're just cutting calories down a little bit. But in general, like for most people, like mostly produce, some lean protein, make sure you're drinking a lot of water, you're getting enough fiber. It's going to go a long way if you're eating the standard American diet. The other big thing that I think people don't think about, and I just had one of my signature events a couple days ago, and we actually kind of discussed this a little bit, is that we often look to food as just like a means to an end. I'm hungry and I need to get back to doing what I'm doing. What can I stuff in my mouth fast enough and then get back to what I'm doing? Or stuff it in my mouth fast enough while I'm still doing the thing I need to be doing. And in that, like, it's really easy to consume a ton of calories and maybe take you to a health place you don't want to be because you're doing it mindlessly and you're doing it fast. And so it's really easy to consume thousands of calories in 2, 3, 4. You'd be amazed at how long it takes most people to eat like lunch. If you just sit down to eat lunch by yourself, it's probably like 3 to 5 minutes. But your hunger and satiety signals don't actually kick in until about 20 minutes after. So you could have overeaten in 3 to 5 minutes and not even know it because you haven't given your body enough time to get there. So like more so than like what you're eating, because that's going to be a little bit different for everybody. Depending on where you live, what's available, what health issues you may or may not have, what your preferences are, is like how you're eating. The number one thing I would say is like sit down, put your phone away, quiet environment, maybe some fresh air, and like actually like think about each bite. Now you may not be able to do this all the time, but if you can even just do this one meal a day, it might make a huge difference to realize like if I actually eat those Pringles slowly, they're really not that good. They kind of are gross. But usually we're like stuffing them down so fast that you just get that initial like whatever their flavor is, and you think you like the crisp that they have, but you don't actually know that, Or like if I do sit down, like, oh my God, last week I had a peach that I bought at the grocery store, and like most of them are pretty good, but I had this one that was just like absolutely perfectly ripe, like bright yellow, perfect texture, amazing flavor, and I bit into it and I was like, oh my God, this is like pure bliss. And it's like, so good for me. It's got lots of vitamins and minerals and fibers, and just like instead of just like mindlessly going through it and be like, was that peach good? I think it was good. But just like savoring and enjoying that, and realizing that like, wow, this is really amazing. And I'm thankful that I have the money, to afford fresh fruit, and that fresh fruit is available in this part of the world to me and whatnot. If you can just like slow down with your meals and actually become aware of eating, I think could play an even bigger role than what.
Yeah. So you think that going through that process would almost lead you to better foods?
Yeah, because you're going to, one, realize that, oh, this really isn't that good, and this maybe better for me thing actually is pretty darn good. But two, if you slow down, you actually give your body, your physiology, time to catch up and register that, yeah, I've actually had plenty of food. I don't need more. So it's going to like make you aware that like maybe you don't want to be actually eating these not so good foods, and you're going to be eating just less overall because your hunger and satiety signals have a chance to actually kick in before you're done.